Welcome to the Must Love Yarncast.
Here we are.
Here we are. Sunday.
Rainy, dreary.
It's the last Sunday in April.
Oh, golly, I guess so.
It is, yes.
That month went by very quickly. Can I
know.
just say that?
We missed everybody last week. It was Easter, so we decided to take a pass. So here we are.
Although the store stayed open.
Yes.
We haven't done that in a while, but Bella volunteered, so why not?
Why not?
So,
yeah. But John and I were doing other things.
Yeah.
Or it allowed us to do other things.
We did other things, yes. So that was good.
So, welcome. This Yarncast is about knitting mostly, yarn, crocheting, or crotcheting, and some people will get that joke.
I think you should link that video.
I have mixed feelings
Maybe
about
not.
linking the video because it's a young person, though their parent did put it out on social media.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, very funny, reel from Instagram with a young woman being asked by her mother why they're going to Michael's, and she says she wants to start crotcheting, and her mom is dying laughing, and this, young woman is trying to explain to her mom, as only a teenager could, that her mom is clearly very not with it because she doesn't know what crotcheting is. Pro tip, crocheting.
Right.
So anyway,
we welcome all crafters regardless of...
Yes, so that's going to be the ongoing joke, I think, here, and I may, for the future, refer to it as crotcheting instead of crocheting, but anyway. So that will make an appearance at times on the Yarncast. In fact, today, it will be.
Kind of.
I can...
Oh, no, actually.
I have some. Anyway, so we have totally digressed. You can find the store.
Get ready.
Right? Actually, I don't even think we mentioned that Must Love Yarn is a store. So we are a yarn store, Shelburne, Vermont.
In it.
We are in it right now. And most of the things we're going to talk about today, you can buy at the store at mustloveyarn.com. We also have an Instagram page and a Facebook group and a Ravelry group. So come check out all the fun.
And an unedited Yarncast.
And an completely unedited, one take only
right.
Yarncast. So here we are.
Doing that.
Goofy Sunday is apparently where we're at right now. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm Angela. You can find me out on social media. Instagram, Ravelry, Blue Sky as Junior Bird Kid.
So I can't do anything simple. So Ravelry, you can find me as J Arbuckle. Instagram is Jennifer_Arbuckle. Blue Sky is J-Arbuckle, I think. Maybe.
We do have
I don't
them
do much over there. I'm sorry.
all linked.
Yeah.
In show notes.
And also, my newest endeavor, Bobolink Yarns, is also linked.
Also linked.
And I managed that social media stuff.
Yes.
For my sins.
Yes. Yes. With our sort of normal caveat that some of those are Jenna and my personal pages, so you're going to see other things on them besides yarn. For yarn and fiber content only, I would follow the store. But if you want to see other stuff, see what's going on over in my crazy life.
It's a mess out there.
It is. Come on over.
Yes.
Say hi. So we like to start our Yarncast with our Yarncast pick. And we're going to show one and do it. I think we've done this one relatively recently.
I don't know that we've done it recently. We probably do it every year this time.
Right.
If not more than one. Oh, God.
But we thought that it was worth mentioning. We have a bunch of different alongs going. We're headed into summertime and warm weather. So we thought today would be the day to remind everybody that we have Queensland coastal cotton. This is the fine, so this is the fingering sport DK weight-ish, cotton version. We do also have regular coastal cotton, which is a worsted weight, but the yarn pick this time is the fine.
Which is the solids. And then this is Ocean Mist, also found under fine, but under separate page.
Well,
on the
I
website?
can link generally a search page where they'll both come up.
Okay.
If not, I'll link them individually.
Yeah.
So, but yes, they do have their own pages. They both actually retail for $7.99 a skein, so there's
Yeah.
not really a price difference between them.
We wanted to have them because they complement each other.
They do complement each
Yeah.
other beautifully, and if you're doing any sort of like striped project or
one of the projects we're going to talk about would be perfect for that.
you could,
Yeah.
yeah,
Could do the one part in the mixie and the other part
in
in
the solid.
Yeah.
Yep, if you wanted to do that in all cotton, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of great colors, as you can see. I didn't count how many there are, but like 20-ish. There's a rainbow out there, even on a rainy day. Hopefully that'll be the last of the weird weather-related jokes. But
Well, so why don't we make our coupon code YP Cotton Rainbow?
sure.
Why? Let's just make the longest coupon code on the planet. Why not?
It's worth it for 10% off.
YP Cotton Rainbow. And the way this works for folks who have been here with us for a while, with this code, you can get 10% off in store and online.
And just for the record, also, I guess we didn't really do yardage and all of that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. We're really off our game today.
So it's 100 grams, 350 yards. It's 100% cotton. Pure soft cotton. That is one band, and this is the other. Oops. So, and they both, I think, have the same yardage. Let's just be 100% sure in this very accurate podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It is exactly the same. And so, as I said, 100 grams, recommended needle size, US 3 to 5, and hook is US E4 to 7. So,
Okay.
As we said, it's a number 2 on the yarn app or whatever.
Yarn scale.
Scale.
Yarn weight.
Let's put this on the floor.
Yarn weight scale. So we're going to run that code for 3 weeks because I just looked at the calendar and it is going to be 3 weeks before we can yarn cast again because if we kept to 2 weeks, it would be Mother's Day and I'm going to protest.
I'm going to be gone that weekend.
So anyway, so it'll be 3 weeks at least before we're back.
If you stitch every day, you can have a project done.
That's true. So from May 2nd to May 23rd, this coupon code will be active on the website and for in-store purchases.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
Plus, that'll put us back on my schedule.
Exactly. That was my other thought.
Which is completely fine
that.
either way. Honestly.
I know it is. It is what it is. But
yeah.
So yes, I think it'll be 3 weeks before we can release another episode, which is fine. And then maybe we'll be back on track for for
a week.
one time, and then
one
and
episode.
then the summer's here, and then all bets are off.
Right.
Sideways real fast.
Yeah.
So what you wearing today?
I am wearing my own design because I needed something cozy. This is called a Pretty Luxe shawl, Luxe.
You get a lot of wear out of that.
I do, and the pattern is designed so that you can knit like a semicircular or a ginormous triangle, and it's got mohair. Before mohair was a thing, I did this, but it's very cozy. This is knit in like 3 different colors of Noro silk road. Silk garden.
It's one of those days.
Yeah. Held with a navy blue mohair sort of all the way through, which I think was Barocco's Ariel.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. So because the Noro did all the striping, and so I think there were 2 that were kind of similar, and then the reddy one is sort of was a 3rd color. So anyway, it was fun to knit. It's very I don't know, like potato chip knitting, like you just want to keep going because the colors keep changing, and it's very soft because of the mohair, and it's very cozy on this kind of wet, damp day.
Gross day, for sure.
Where my shoulders are cold.
So for the same reason, I am wearing the Kaleidoscope cardigan that I made not that long ago, actually. So this is by Jamie Creates. and this is the 3 skeins of worsted weight yarn held triple. And there was a lot of discussion about how is it possible that you only needed 3 skeins of each color. I mean, it is 9 total skeins of yarn, but 3 skeins of each color to make the sweater, and see some back episodes for my panic buying with one color, which then has led to some other projects that required more. Anyway, whole saga. But this, I am seriously considering whether I want to make another one. Like, that's how cozy this is.
Yeah, it's a good stash thing too. If you
could
have a couple of odd skeins, and also if you just want to mix things up.
You could marl. You could totally marl the whole sweater.
You could have like 9 completely different colors.
Yeah. Take 9 skeins of yarn. You could mix and match through as long as they kind of all worked together. At least for the size that I made. And I did have yarn left over, so I wasn't using too much yarn, but it's super cozy. It fits really well. It's nice for these kinds of days. But so I've been getting a lot of wear out of it for it being basically like a bulky cardigan.
Well, so, April, it's just
April's
in Vermont.
Weird,
I mean, the temperatures range from like 25 to 70.
I know.
We've only had a couple of 70-degree days. And that's in one day, actually.
Right, but it also does that stuff where it's like 20 in the morning, and then by the afternoon it's like 65. And so, like, layer. Like, this kind of like a jacket this time of year. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have one finished object and one whip.
I have one finished object and, like, 2 whips. And that's it.
Because I've been pretty steady.
Me too.
And one of the finished object is a sort of surprise.
Till I got distracted yesterday with a new project. As we do.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about my finished object first?
Sure.
All right. I finished the hat.
That's really good. I love those colors.
I might have finished the hat just like a couple days ago. But yeah, and so this is the sockhead hat, and I was using leftover Woolens and Nosh.
Did you use
yarn.
it? Almost.
I have that much left. I know.
So close.
I know.
You'll shove that. You can shove that into something.
I can find something too, and I have this much of.
You should do a sea glass with all your leftovers from Woolens and Nosh.
Oh my god, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? So I'd already made a pair of socks out of this. This is her Cardophile colorway, and the color stripes and the color scheme is so
awesome.
Beautiful. But it did this really cool, not quite all the way around with the micro stripes.
I love that.
But it totally works, and it just looks super cool.
Yeah. That's great.
So it's done. It's a slouchy beanie that's not really my style of hat, but I think it's just gonna go in like the gift bin because it was leftovers. So I already knit what I wanted to out of it, which was the socks. So I view leftovers, even if they're really nice yarn, as being kind of like just extra, because that's not what I was planning. Just leftover.
I think it's fun to repurpose them with something else. Like
I also think it's fun to put nice quality stuff sometimes in the gift bin because it's a nice surprise for people.
Yeah.
But also
the washing part is the only tricky bit.
It's super wash.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's sock yarn.
Yeah.
It's got nylon in it, so yeah. Oh, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my only finished object.
Well, as I said, I only have one, and it's not the one you're expecting, because I hadn't even started this project. It wasn't even a gleam.
Not even on the rate. Not even a thing.
Gleam in my eye. So one of my employees had a baby last week, and we decided to put together a little gift basket for her from the office. So I knit a little baby sweater when I was in Washington, basically, almost the entire thing. It's called the Zandra. There's not a great picture, and the designer is Jackie McAvoy from Kitty Winks Knits, and this is my version of it.
Oh my gosh, that is so adorable.
So you may recognize some of these yarns. These are leftovers from my temperature blanket. And
love
honest,
it.
yeah, it was fun to sort
I
of put it
love it.
together. So obviously it was a 2-color in the pattern, and it had buttons all the way down. I just decided to. I didn't know she was having a boy or a girl. She has in fact had a boy, and then I came in
Still
looking for
amazing.
buttons, and I just
love
could not resist the little ladybugs. So
Those are so cute.
yeah, so it's getting mailed out tonight. But I thought I was just gonna have to show a picture because I thought we were doing everything last week, but it's. So super cute,
So
fun
cute.
to put together.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is a great example of the pattern is only 2-color, but you can put your own spin on it and make it.
I mean, it took like
something...
hardly any of the other colors.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But then I was trying to get it to be so the rainbow, was just the colors, but then it needed to be anyway. So the purple is a little bit more, but it's fine. It's cute. So
That's great.
Yeah, so that was fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Baby stuff goes so fast.
Yeah, that's like a 6-month size, supposedly. I always make 6 months. I would never make a newborn or preemie size, even for a small baby. I think they're going to grow. So I'd rather, and you never quite know. We're coming into summer.
Right.
As it turns out, I think based on the picture, I don't know the actual dimensions, but looks like he's a good-sized little guy. So
I had a couple of those.
Yes, so he may get some wear out of it sooner rather
but
than
also
later.
Stuff like that can be used over the summer too,
Yeah.
like inside where there's air conditioning, it gets chilly.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's not won't get used just because we're headed into summer.
And even though there were all those different colors in there, it was actually like the perfect travel knit because I started it before I left so that I had the it's top down, so the ribbing at the top was done, and it's raglan, so it just I made little tiny balls of because I knew I needed six yards. It was more than 6 yards, but I think I made like little balls that were about this big, and they looked the same to me. So, the purple one I had a little bit more, but anyway, it was easy. And nice. I just was sitting there in my meetings and conference, and of course my colleagues were like, show us at the beginning, and then the third day they were like, where? And I was like, I think I was done with one sleeve, most maybe. Of one sleeve, maybe not started the second one, but anyway, they were like, you could see its shape, because for a while it didn't look like anything, but anyway, yes.
That's fun.
It was fun, yeah.
It was fun.
So, yeah, and then I only have one whip, although aspirations for about 20, because,
I have 2 whip. I've been pretty monogamous with my knitting the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I put a lot into the limits.
I did knit a couple rows on the Washington beanie. I did not bring it with me because it's in a giant bag with a bunch of skeins of yarn because it takes 4 skeins of yarn.
The Washington beanie.
That's the hat, with the trees.
Yes. State of Washington.
State of Washington. Yes. The yarn did show up, and I knit a couple rows, but I'm just got 3 skeins of yarn that you're knitting with per row right now, and then there's a couple rows where there's 4. You're working with 4 strands.
Duplicate stitch.
Stitch. I know. We had a long discussion about that last time.
Go see that episode. We're not going to replicate that here.
No, we're not going to do that again. We've already beat that horse.
Yes. And you're going for 4? I'm curious.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
3's giving me fits, hence the
it's
only
fiddly. Yeah.
a couple rows.
Yeah.
But that leads into the project that I have been working on, which also had a couple rows where there were 3 colors.
I think 3 is like, especially if you know it's just a couple rows, like it's manageable, but it's annoying, but it's manageable.
But this is the Sleeping Beauty pullover by Eleanor Mortensen.
Oh, it looks great, Ange. It's beautiful.
Sorry, it's super messy because I haven't woven in any ends yet, and there are ends because right now, like every 6 rows, I am changing colors. So I divided for the sleeves.
It's so pretty.
Thank you. And we're in the body, but the color work goes all the way to the bottom. So it's color work all the way through. Once I pick up for the sleeves, there's maybe 5 more rows of color work. It's like this thing again where it's just the I think I'm gonna do short sleeves. I think I'm gonna make this a short sleeve sweater. So this is definitely super potato chippy, and you can almost memorize the color work pattern. But it is, solid color work, like all the time, all the way through.
Yeah, and you're changing colors, right?
I'm changing
'Cause
colors.
You have minis
so
instead of like a changing colors game or whatever.
Yeah, so some people are knitting this with like Spin Cycle or one of those ones where the color changes happen. I'm doing the color changes. So every leaf, the leaf is a repeat. So every repeat, I'm changing colors. So that's a lot of ends to even at the end.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna
be beautiful.
Right, yeah. Lots of baggies with color, the numbers on them, so I know which baggie I need to grab next to keep them in order. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This is yarn from Canon Hand Dyes. She does amazing like color work kits for things like this.
So is that all of the colors so far, or do they all continue to change as you go down? And then this gets repeated down?
Yeah, so the flowers are done. Yeah. You just do the vines all the way down, so the greens will just continue to change. So this one here that I just did down at the bottom is the same that's up here. So I'm in number 2. And I think there's 7 or 8 total of the greens. So, just keep going down with the navy blue as the background, which I thought was really fun.
That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was nice. One of our Krista, one of our former employees and close friend of the store, was in with her. She did one that was very similar to the pattern.
Yeah, she has a test knit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So hers, it was nice to see hers in person. I've only seen pictures of it. So hers has that lighter background and the colors are darker. Yep. But I like the dark background.
I thought
they're both beautiful.
Yeah, just different for sure. So anyway, so that's been keeping me. It was this slog to get to dividing for the sleeves. So I'm, 1.5 inches, 2 inches in. Yeah. Because there was a whole lot of stitches on the needles. So it feels so much faster once you take all these sleeve stitches off. Yes. Because your round is smaller.
Yeah. Plus you're going in the round. Yeah. And you're down to just 2 colors per row.
2 colors. That's it. We're 2 colors.
You're
forever.
through the worst of that one.
Through the worst. That is true. And, once I get to the sleeves, it won't be that long because I'm doing short sleeves. So it'll be just a little bit of color work and then the sleeve ribbing and then it's done.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I might set this one aside for every day in May and see if I knit on it every day in May, if I can finish it, which I will be able to because basically the last 3 weeks, that's all I've been working on. Yeah. I feel like. Yeah.
I can't remember where I was last time. So this is the Argyle sweater that I've been working on from Vogue Knitting and there's a designer. Yes, Sandy Rosner. So the back is finished. I feel like that might have been finished last time. I can't quite remember. It might not have been completely finished, but it's finished, except for the white, Argyle duplicate stitch. And then I thought, you never know how much knitting you're going to get done on local yarn shop day when people are coming and going, and so and then I worked on it some last night. I thought I might have gotten the front finished, but I divided for the V, and I have like nice. 10 more rows maybe till I'm at the top, and then you hitch the shoulders together and do the Argyle and then side seams, and it's a vest, so then it's pretty close from nice. There. Just the neckband and the arm. Sorry.
It's okay. You dropped your ball.
Yeah.
Down there.
And I'm knitting the fronts. Instead of knitting them separately, I'm just going straight across. I'm just using both ends of the yarn so that it just makes it easier, so there's not one flapping. Anyway, for me, it's easier. So
yeah, it's like 2 at a time socks. It's exactly. 2 at a time
fronts,
V-neck fronts.
Yeah, and plus, then if I do something like I missed a a decrease thing, which wasn't really a big deal. I just started it one row later, but at least it's consistent all the way across because I'll forget next time.
I think she's working on a cross stitch
Oh.
project. Do you want to come show it? Sorry,
That's fine.
I have kids here.
She turned the light back on again, so that's good.
She's been working on a cross stitch. Do you want to come show it?
Sure.
This is
Get in there.
our young crafter. What are you working on?
Backpack charm.
Backpack charm for cross stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
Look how
which one?
cute
Did you
they
just
are.
finish the blue cat?
Yeah, I just need to do the heart next.
And then the blue cat's all done. Jen wants to see it.
Sorry,
Show her.
it's at a weird angle for me. Oh, it's so cute. Sorry, I'm going to put it right up close so everyone can see. It's
Your
adorable.
back's not very messy. What do you mean your back was messy? It's not messy. Looks good.
What do I do with this?
Well, we'll tuck it. We'll tuck it behind some of these other stitches so it doesn't pop out. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Good job,
It looks great.
mini crafter. We started her on like hand embroidery,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's what I started on.
and that feels a lot harder. And she picked this up right away because it was like, oh, I just have to make X's, and they've already printed the pattern on the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, maybe we should have started with this. But nope.
Yeah.
Start with the hard stuff first, then everything else
Right.
is easy.
Right. That's right.
So, yes, have crafts will travel.
Indeed.
And teach the kids. So, interestingly enough, Jen and I showed up for local yarn shop day yesterday and discovered that we were basically buying yarn for the same patterns that we had seen.
Two out of the, I have three planned. But yes, it made me laugh. And during the week, I almost texted you and I was like, but then I thought, no, I'm just going to show up. And so it doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
But it's very
all.
funny.
It is
She
fun.
whips out her print. I hadn't bought or printed my patterns until yesterday, but she whips out her little handy folder, and I was like, interesting.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, pattern number 1 is the Getty tee. Yep. This is recently released by Tanis Fiber Arts, so Tanis LaValle. She's been doing a whole series of like knitted and crocheted combos. She had a cardigan that had a bunch of granny squares and
Jethro. The Jethro cardigan.
some knitted pieces. So this is a new release. It's like a little t-shirt
It's so cute.
with basically granny squares for the shoulders, and then the rest of it's knitted. So you hitch the granny squares together and then pick up for the fronts and the backs, and then add some ribbing, and you have a fun little cute tee.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, this is great. I can practice my crocheting, and this will be really, really fun. So I was looking for yarn yesterday. It's a DK weight.
So this is a
pattern.
whip, technically.
So this is a whip. Yep, this is a whip for
It's
me.
an inspiration for me.
Because I went home and started.
I picked
crocheting.
yarn. That's all I did.
So this is Ella Marmal, and it's a color changing. There's tons of different colors in here, a lot of which I like, some which I'm a little less enamored with, but I figured I would see what do my squares look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I had at least one misfire. So this
that
is
one got small.
This is a misfire. Well, so what was happening?
It's very cute.
It is cute. Over here, I wasn't reading the pattern correctly, and so the little granny square triplicates or whatever they're called, little flowers, is not lining up properly, and you can't really see it with maybe there when it's over my face. So right here, those rows are kind of messed up. So you can use the ones up there. So I clipped this off because I was like, what am I doing? And I had to go find some pictures to see how it was supposed to look. Crochet for me is very visual. Like, I need to see, like, what does it look like?
Where am I supposed to insert
Where
the hook into
where's
the
it supposed
fabric?
to go? And anyway, so I probably could have ripped this back and started again, but I had already ripped it back like 3 times, and I was like, oh, no, off to the side. So I figured it out. And this is kind of a mess. So this was what came up next, which I don't really like.
Yeah. not for the one you're doing.
Not for the one I'm doing.
And those aren't your colors.
Those are not really my colors.
Yeah.
But I have left the yarn attached because I wasn't entirely sure I was going to get granny squares that I fully liked.
You can hire Maddie too. That's what I'm doing.
Well, so I decided to just keep plugging at it, but keep things attached to each other. So if I decide I can't get the squares that I want, I can rip it out and use it for a different project. I mean, this would make a really beautiful like t-shirt or something
nice.
else.
I
So
like that one.
So this is really what I was looking for.
Yeah.
This is what I was aiming for.
That's nice.
This one, because this is my solid color.
And you only need 4, right?
I only need 4.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yep. So this one's good, and then this next one, not a little, kind of a miss.
Well, just the colors are
Just right. The colors are a miss. The crochet's fine. Right. The crochet's fine. The colors are not what I was going for.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
This is the 4th one. So this one is good. So I'm kind of starting to see a pattern here. I think it's going to be like in every other one, but I'm not going to unhitch these till I know I can get 4 that I want.
You're halfway.
I'm halfway. But on the off chance that I can't, I'm sure it's because of how much yarn I have.
Yeah.
But I just have been loath to clip them because as soon as I clip them, I will be like, I can't.
Well, not only that, but then when you're trying to like line back the bits that you end up, like if you take these 2 out, then at least they'll be in bigger chunks rather than in like little short bits.
So in the middle of this, like after this one happened, I was like, oh, for Pete's sake, like I can't, this is not going to work. I went stash diving. I brought these because I knew you were going to be doing the same thing. And I pulled a Feederbrook Farm one that I thought, oh, this could work great with this. Like these will go.
No matter what. Like
no matter
all of
what.
them will work.
Yeah. So I did crochet. I started crocheting a couple of these. So I clearly have crocheted a crap ton of granny squares. But the color repeats are just a little, so we're not.
Yeah.
So this is like
more solid
like
colors.
A dark purple with a little bit of a light purple.
Which would be fine if you're going for a more subtle look.
Yeah. And so this is like a gray blue and it gets darker blue. So what's very clear is if I use this yarn, you're going to have 4 different colored granny squares, which probably I could use, but like maybe with like a gray body or like a light gray body or even like a white or a cream.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more color block versus different colors in the granny squares.
Yeah, with like flecks of other colors in there.
Yes. And so I think, there's clearly, just looking here, I would probably get one more that was in the blues.
Yeah.
And then it's going to transition to a lighter color, so I may have to skip this and go back over to here.
Yeah, it depends on how close you want them to be to your yarn color.
Right.
Or you could use the 2 that you like plus that, I guess.
I don't think I'm going to mix and match the granny squares. Like, I think at this point, this would be for a second one. But more,
I'm glad you've done that because that's very helpful for me. Thank you.
That's what I figured. You're welcome.
Not that I'm going to crochet them myself, but when I give direction to my assistant, who I begged yesterday to crochet me 4 granny squares, and she very gracefully agreed.
4, 5, 6 and a half. Probably 8 because this one got ripped out a bunch when I was trying to figure out, wait, what does that mean? How does this work? What am I doing? Because there was a period of time when I thought, oh, well, I can just follow the directions for the blanket of calm because that has you, but that's a different style of granny square. So that would work, but it's not going to look like this.
Yeah, I did when I was begging Maddie to help me. Yesterday, we had a whole conversation, which I initiated in fairness to myself, about, I suppose, if you taught me how to do granny squares, and I would know, and that's like teach a person to fish versus whatever, but be that as it may, I'm leaving a skein of yarn here for today to do.
Well, I mean, what's interesting is like these could go in their own.
Mm-hmm.
It would just need a different base or a different.
Be beautiful with like cream or yeah.
Yeah. So I am resisting the urge to just pull the yarn. Like I'm knitting them on like these are all still hooked together, which makes for interesting yarn management at times.
Right.
But it's fine. See, like this is what's happening. But anyway, so I'm just gonna keep going because I don't know what I'm gonna get with this one. It's kind of like a surprise.
I do like these ones. I think that would be pretty.
That's with the blue. It's gonna be
that would be nice.
Beautiful.
I think those other ones are also pretty, but they're a little too blendy.
It's a different look for sure.
Yeah, for the sweater, I mean.
Yeah.
For that one.
Yeah.
I decided, I was thinking I was going to do it in gray, and then I was thinking I was going to do a cream colored one, and then I decided I was doing a green one.
The green's nice.
I spent a lot of time looking at the multiple greens that are available on this yarn, which we'll have some of these in the store that'll go in this week. So I decided that I like this green, and so that's what I'm going to do. And I was looking, I went looking in my own stash, and as I walked in there, this was sort of on the floor or in front of the bin. And I thought, you know what, I think for me, I would rather have, as much as I love the look of the one with the rainbow colors and the neutral, I think because the green is pretty, has a lot of life of its own, I think I would like the granny squares to be a little bit, and this green actually is right in that yarn. So, so I'm going to wind it up.
It's gonna do this.
Yeah, which is completely fine for me. But as long as there's flecks of green in there, I think, wherever this ends up, I think it will be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So that this is a more neutral, even though it's a mix of, 18 different colors, it's more neutral.
I think, this is a pattern where you can be as subtle or as bold as you want. And really the boldness could come just in this little shoulder section. I found this one. This was another one that I pulled out that has a bunch of different, there's
more
purples
contrast
in there and some
pretty.
green. This might actually become a grid gambit with like a solid color of some sort, maybe a gray, something. Because I think if I try to pull one of the colors that's in here, it's just they're gonna be too close.
Yeah,
you want something that's gonna contrast out.
Yeah,
or maybe like a cream color might be kind of fun. Because I was thinking that this might work as well, but I think again it's gonna do the same thing that these squares are, which is not.
Except for the one thing I would say is that there's more. The contrast in the colors is more prominent in this skein, so you'll see it'll be more mixy. Whereas the colors in that one are definitely
the same palette.
Yeah, and they're really close together. Even though they're not. I mean, you look at them and you
they are.
Yeah,
for sure. So I think or you could knit granny squares the way they're supposed to be, which is in each round is a different color.
Right. Yeah.
So,
which is, I think, honestly,
different solid.
Is
color.
that what you did here in the?
Yeah, that's what the directions are for. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So she did. I thought all of her squares matched, but now that I go back and look at the picture, they don't match. They're just all the same color scheme.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, because the directions actually are for you to be changing colors every round.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why they're a little bit more curated looking, I guess.
Yes.
For lack of a better description.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, so some stash. Oh, and this is Green Mountain Spinnery Cotton Comfort, which will be the body of the sweater.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is Bow Blank Yarns Green Mountain Blend, which is it's 100% Vermont wool, a blend of Vermont wool, so it's a 3-ply sport weight, so it's very soft and cushy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super fun. And so,
of course, now that you said that there are 4 different colors or whatever, I was like,
oh, maybe I can just use all bubble ink and.
Well, yes, but also whether I guess I didn't read I made a copy of just the Granny Square page to leave for Maddie, but I didn't think about doing it in solids instead.
Yeah, that's an option too. Yep. You know what could be cool is do like, so you've got
some of this is part of each one,
right, but with the green, right? So you could do like the center in this, and then a round of green, and then a round of this, and then a round of green, and then a round of this. So,
I might want to throw some cream or some other contrast color in there.
So you could do both, right, or a cream, but still use that. But it's just it just would be every other row instead of the whole square. That would work too, and that would maybe make it hang together a little better than doing the full square.
I'll be curious to see the granny squares. Like, I may ask her to do one, and then I can see.
Yep.
Because if this green is really spread throughout, which it kind of looks like it is, as long as it shows up in each granny square, I'm
it
okay
may
with
not,
that.
like when you get over here.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna.
Lighter.
Yeah. That's what I mean, though. I'm okay with it if the granny squares are different colors, as long as the green sort of shows up in each one.
Yep.
So, when I wind it up, I'll look and see.
You'll be able to tell, I think, when you wind it, because this, you can see the...
I can tell her where I want her to go.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Maddie. Lucky girl.
She's going to make you learn how to do these after this.
She is. And she's sending me some other samples right now, so.
Yes. So the other pattern that both Jen and I came in with is the Fight EB scarf.
For many reasons. And
for those of you that are in the know, you know what that means and what it is for. It's just a cute little scarf.
Neckerchief.
That is knit on fingering weight yarn, though you could use any weight yarn. You would just need to
the camera.
adjust the needle size, and you'd have a slightly thicker and potentially longer little neckerchief. But it's 175 yards of fingering weight, US 5s. I'm planning to find stash yarn, leftover skein of some sort, to knit this out of.
That's what I was planning as well, and so this is one option, but it might be too dark
and too dark.
Yeah, and then I was thinking about breaking this guy out. That's just been living in my stash for a long time now. This is a fiber stash, one called some of them are in Greek. It's a cashmerino, so it's a soft, and I do like pink, and I wear quite a bit of it. This has a lot of colors in it, which is fun. So I was determined, and I went pawing through my stash, my leftovers, and it's like I don't have quite enough. I have a lot that are like 30 or 40 grams, but not. I feel like you need like 50 probably to be sure that you're going to have enough. I did see something the other day where this was knit in two pieces and then hitched together.
Yep.
And I saw a bunch of people who were knitting them at the same time, which I like the front thing, so I might do the same thing.
That's actually a good idea.
Again, for me, it's consistency.
Right. Well, then it's exactly the same, and when you're done, and you just hitch them together.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. And so. But this is, it's. I should use a leftover, but then I don't want something that dark. A lot of my leftovers are. There was one that I had that was sort of cream with white with sparkle in it that I almost thought about, but I feel like this is sort of what I was envisioning. So why not break it out? It's just sitting in my stash doing nothing right now.
Right.
So
there.
I think that's the plan.
I hadn't even hit the stash. I think I'm gonna look in the odds and ends, the leftover bin first, and see what's.
I didn't want it to be like pink per se, but I was envisioning something with some pink in it, and I have quite a bit of. I like pink in a lot of in my things, and so I almost looked at. Remember, I had some leftovers from the Woolens and Nosh colorway that she did for us. It was like the red with a Valentine's Day related thing. I didn't have quite enough of that though, so I put that back.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, so two
Yeah.
out of, well, both of the patterns that I brought in that I was looking at, it's just really funny that Jen and I both had the same.
I think they both qualify for texture torso.
Okay.
Technically, right?
Yep.
Granny
I think
squares
this
are
one,
texture.
this one definitely
For
does, because of what's in there. I think I was gonna lobby that this one should also apply because of the granny squares. So if you're giving the green light, then we'll go.
Me.
This,
I'm easy.
No, I know. Anything's texture. So this would qualify for the texture T along, texture torso along, because of the granny squares. So if you wanted to check this pattern out and participate in the along,
Or if you wanted to do a slightly different granny square that has like a flower motif,
oh yeah,
then it would be like a threefer.
Yeah. No, I know. So the botanical along,
Yeah.
or your pattern or your
Right.
yarn was a botanical
Yeah.
color. So
Exactly.
So you've heard it here. I'm going to make a note in show notes that
Because we said
the
crochet,
Getty tee.
right? It's
Yep.
allowed.
Oh yeah,
crochet
it's not
is-
just knitting. Yeah.
Yeah. If you really want a candidate for your texture torso, though, this this pattern, which I also saw this week. I think it came out this week, and I just can't resist it. So it's this guy. I would not pretend to try to pronounce it. Well, I could. I think it's
she gives a pronunciation in the.
My glasses on.
At least on the Ravelry.
Yeah, on the thing it did say that. I think it's Cow Ella, I want to say. So this is Baby Cocktails or Thea Coleman. This is like the most beautiful vest I've seen in a long time.
It is gorgeous.
And so I think this is going to hop onto my needles pretty soon. I'm in a vest mode, not just because of the one I'm wrapping up, but I just feel like, for me, like in spring, it's so perfect. Like you can wear it over something, or, wear it in the summer as its own thing. It's definitely like a 3-season top. So I am,
So it's pronounced Kol-Ila.
Yeah.
Kol-Ila.
And it calls for, I think it's another DK. I feel like everything is DK right now. Yes. So I might be stash diving in my own yarn because, of course, I feel like everything I knit needs to be sample worthy for the fall, even though the colors may be slightly different and the yarn will be a little different depending on the wool that I've been gathering. But anyway, so I just couldn't resist. It's so beautiful. So
it is beautiful. And I think the only reason why it wasn't in my list of things is I hadn't actually seen it.
I think it just popped up.
I think you're right. It looks like it was just released
this week,
April 23rd.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why. I'm very seldom like scouting for new things. I just, the algorithm. It was a happy coincidence with the algorithms.
Right. Well, and for me, like the Sleeping Beauty one, I am only doing that one because enough people who are test knitting are on my algorithm, like Hand in Hand Eyes and some of these other ones. So I kept seeing it. And I do follow Eleanor Orenson, but it doesn't mean you're going to necessarily see their stuff.
Yes, right. Exactly, right. Yeah.
But I think she's got some other stuff in the works that I'm kind of excited about and can't wait to see. So I'm seeing more colorwork sweaters in my future here.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I do love this color that she's done it in, of course. I'm kind of thinking it's going to either be, I think it's going to be a neutral for me, like a gray or a cream, or, as much as, I'm always drawn to color, particularly since I went green with the Getty tee, I think. Because I was thinking about doing that in cream or gray also.
Yeah.
I have to remember to have wardrobe staples that
right.
work with things.
You know what, that vest would be really beautiful in like a pale purple too.
Yeah, lavender.
Like a lavender.
Yeah. Heathered lavender.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be really lovely.
Yeah.
Also very wearable with your wardrobe.
Yeah.
But definitely like that kind of patterning needs a color that's maybe a little lighter so you can see the cables and see the texture.
And not so variegated.
Yeah,
Probably.
variegation would definitely.
I mean, you could.
You totally
I
could,
guess
but-
you could. And the other thing is you could do like a color up to here and then transition to something else. It's, it's just lovely. So. And the vest is quick. Like, even though I haven't been terribly monogamous with the Argyle thing, and that's had its own intarsia.
No sleeves.
It's awesome. It's really great.
No sleeves.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So
we, as we've been sort of teasing, we do talk a little bit in the outtakes about Stitch Every Day in May. So keep a watch on the social medias. We'll make some more announcements about that. But the basic premise of that is to stitch, whether you're crocheting or knitting or hand stitching, to just do it every day, a little bit every day. So Stitch Every Day in May.
Why is May any different than any other month, right? That's what you're all thinking.
Well, it rhymes. Day and May rhyme. So that's why.
I know.
We have Worldwide Knit and Public Day, which is coming up in June. So we'll be having some activities here in the store for that. June 14th, I think, is the day this year. We have the Great Northern Yarn Haul coming to you in July. So it's the entire month of July. And we have some trunk shows and pop-ups on the agenda for that during the month of July. So again, join the newsletter, take a look at the socials to get information about what's happening here during that month.
Two things I forgot about. I was gonna sorry, keep going.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab something.
We have also are in the process of adding a stitch and pitch for August here with the Vermont Lake Monsters. So we're still working on pinning down the date for that. So I don't have that date to share with all of you, but also stay tuned for that announcement. So that'll be for August. So we're trying to add some fun things to do in the summer that will, keep people excited about knitting and crocheting over the summer. I know I knit and crochet all summer. I know Jen does as well. Some folks take a break, but I think what we try to do is bring different projects. I don't knit the same projects in the summer as I do in the winter, for sure. We also have our movie night.
Yes, that's what I went to go grab. Two things.
So that's going to be happening when this airs, the evening this airs.
Okay, so if you watch it first thing, and you haven't heard about this,
yes,
but we're going to do some more throughout the summer as well,
yes,
and probably during the yarn haul. So we'll see how this first one goes. But this was a fun thing that our folks here cooked up. Two different movies. You've probably seen it on our social medias. One at 4 and one at 7 p.m. on Friday night. So bring your friend, family, and project.
Yep. So the 4 p.m. is a family-friendly feature, and the 7 p.m. is adult.
But not adult.
Right, no. But I mean,
just
more
a grown-up movie.
More of a grown-up movie.
Yes.
It
occurs to me now that we maybe needed to adjust the wording.
That could be interpreted many ways.
On this sign.
Yep.
Wow. Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're right. You should.
Yes,
That's funny.
Yes. Anyway. Right. Oh, poor Maddie and Bella are just shaking their heads.
They are. Sorry. Just, different set of eyes.
Yeah.
Reading things differently. As I have said as a part of my job. So I read things for a living. That's partially what I do, and interpret what they mean. Yeah. And sometimes I read them in a way that I think people did not intend. But there are multiple ways to read things sometimes.
Excuse me. Yes.
So, and then the other thing that Jen just brought over is a new in-store knit along. Is this like a knit group one that they're doing?
No, this Bella sort of is doing this because she's knitting this right now.
Okay.
So the Jacques scarf knit along, you can see it's a really beautiful 2-color. It's similar to the Sophie scarf. It's a little bit bigger, and it's definitely 2 colors. It has some really nice detailing on the edge bands. So right now we have a deal where if you buy the pattern in store, you'll get 10% off your yarns for that pattern. So I think we could extend that to the online folks, right? Can we do this? Let me think about this for a
No,
second.
because we have to do online. They'd have to call the stores for us to do an online in-store pattern sale.
Oh, right, because of the pattern. Yeah. But if people, I think we could, they could buy their own pattern and we could do a discount code for the yarn.
But for what yarn?
Oh, right. Yeah. Never mind. I'm trying to be inclusive, but for our local folks. So these two listings are for our local folks. But
we can make it inclusive in the fact that I will set up threads on the Ravelry page, and if people want to participate, you could win a prize for your finished objects for doing this along. I think the only way we could do
a generic discount code that's 10% off.
But it would have to apply to like everything.
Yeah.
So or all of the DK weight.
And that it would have to apply to their order.
I
see what
you
you're
could
saying.
call the store and say, I want to do this knit along. This is the yarn that I want to purchase. And we have the ability to create invoices and send that to you with the discount. But that's the only way we're going to be able to do that, because
I might have overcomplicated things. Sorry, folks. But you can do that. So feel free.
Yeah, to reach out.
Yeah.
You'd have to call or email and say, I want to participate in this knit along. This is the yarn I want to use. And then we can do an invoice and get that to you with the discount.
Yeah.
And the pattern. I think we should be able to do. You have to buy the pattern and then you get 10% off.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the way we'd have to do it. We can do it that way. It's just a little less easy than buying directly from the website. So.
Yeah. So lots of fun stuff. Bella and Maddie have been
cooking up some good stuff.
Creative caps on.
So we've alluded to these, but we have 2 other alongs going right now. We have the botanical along, which ends June 20th. So it's basically whatever you're doing has to somehow feature something botanical, whether it's the motif, the pattern name, the yarn colorway, we're not really choosy, and it can apply to any sort of project. So knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving, embroidery, you name it. That's going to June 20th. We have the textured torso along, which ends in the middle of July. That is basically, you gotta make something for your torso. So whether it's a tank, a tee, a wrap, the shawl, the little neckerchief that's not really quite torso, it's torso adjacent.
To rest on your torso.
It's torso adjacent, but apparently we're counting it. Shawl, etc. And it must include texture. As you can tell, we're real loosey-goosey with that definition. If we're considering granny squares,
they're textured.
Texture, so you can see just something. Can't just be plain stockinette knitting.
Right.
That's all. We did link a bunch of Barocco Remix Light patterns that would work for this. I will swap out that list this time for the Getty Tee, the Col E.L.A. vest. I think there's a couple others I've seen that would work. I mean, I think there's grid,
so many choices.
The grid gambit cowl would work. We've mentioned that a couple times.
I haven't seen that. I must have missed that this week.
That one was released a while ago.
No. Maybe I did. I vaguely remember.
But that's texture. That's on your torso.
Mm-hmm.
That would work. We'll link those patterns this week if you want to find them and see them. There's a ton out there. Every day I go onto Ravelry, I'm like, I guess we're doing cables. Cables are back.
I feel like also there's always been lots of patterns being released all the time, but I do feel like suddenly there's And, it just depends. Like, some appeal to us. Like, everyone has their own.
I feel like there's a bunch lately that are really
I'm just like, oh my,
appealing to me.
Cast on everything.
No,
There's
I know.
1,000 things.
And I feel like it's been like a year.
Oh,
since
right.
I've seen...
I remember this now. So Grid Gambit is by Samantha Guerin.
Yeah, that would qualify.
And it's similar to the one I just made from Goodwin Johnson, the
Cloud Drift.
Cloud Drift cowl. Not similar exactly; they're very different, but it has a similar architectural feel to it for me. So yeah, that is really cute. Yeah, knit-alongs. Sorry, I feel like there was something else in my brain. Oh, one tiny little. Well, keep going. Are we done?
No, I think I'm done with my stuff.
Yeah. One tiny little thing is, if you've been paying attention, sorry, it's a little crinkly, but we have some thread and maple things in stock. So we have stitch markers, all kinds of different stitch markers. We have a tapestry needle keeper, so it's magnetic, so it will hold your tapestry needles. We have a little, what is this little guy?
The little pouch.
Yeah, I feel like that has a purpose as always, but no navel. Sorry, crinkle.
Crinkle. Just got really dark outside all of a sudden.
It's pouring down the rain, as my friend says. Yeah, it's like one of those little pouches that folds up.
I don't think that pops apart. I think that's just...
To keep your stitch markers
you
in.
Could put stitch markers in there
and then it hooks.
Clip it on.
Clip. Yeah. That's what I think it's for.
You could probably even slide that in. Oh, is that too tall?
A little bit.
A little bit too tall.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll put that back later so it doesn't crinkle again now. So, yeah, so we are sort of testing it out a little bit to see how they do. And we may bring some other stuff in as well. And, of course, now that we have some, I'm sure we can special order other things. So.
Yep. Yeah, they have. It is a Canadian company that their items are produced in the Ukraine.
Yeah. So, and they're really lovely.
Handmade.
Beautiful. Yeah.
They do really good on their social media. They have lots of cool videos of
really beautiful.
Their production things and
needle
just their
cases,
keeper
things,
needle cases, the leather
bags, and,
so lovely.
Yeah.
Every once in a while they run a seconds sale.
I'm always like, yes,
exactly. So, well, I think I am at the end of the stuff that I have on my list to talk about today.
Okay.
So,
I feel like we covered a lot of ground despite not having a ton of
projects
to show.
No, we have lots of other things to chat about and share with folks and talk, Granny Square, color choosing dissection to sort out there. So it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. So thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We appreciate all of you. I love reading the comments that folks have had recently about things. Lots of engagement.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that folks are finding some value here and enjoy just hanging out with us for a little bit every few weeks. So.
Yeah. 2 to 3.
Yeah. Ish. Depends on the time frame. But anyway, I think 3 weeks. I think just briefly looking at the calendar, I think that's going to work. So, so we'll see everybody in about 3 weeks.
All right.
So
plan your crafts for May.
Stitch every day in May. Jen and I will give our updates. Maybe I'll just start a new project. That feels like what I need to do.
Which
right?
one? Which one are we gonna start?
I know.
I have so many choices here.
I know.
Well, luckily this one I am now dependent on my handy helper to make some granny squares, and there's because that's how you start.
Yeah, you have to have the granny squares to start.
I'll have her do that, which is completely fine. She can take as long as she needs to. So maybe it'll be this one. Maybe it'll be this one. It might be this one. This will be easy to do quick.
That's a quick one.
And it will be kind of the in-between netting, which will be good, obviously. So
yes, for sure.
Yeah, or maybe I'll pick up one of the other 1,000 whips in my house. Right?
That could also be a motivation to finish something. Pick up that thing that's been languishing and knit or crochet or craft on it every day.
A little bit of easy to carry travel knitting. So that's probably what this will be.
Yeah.
Because that's a one skeiner.
Her pattern set up too for check the box when you finish certain repeats, so it makes it just that much easier to keep track of where you are and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't read it yet, but I am quite sure there's some fun little tidbits from our friend Sharon the cat.
Oh, there absolutely is. Absolutely. Sometimes it's worth buying those those patterns just for all of the little extra things that are little nuggets that are dropped down in those patterns.
Hidden in there. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So.
Okay.
All right. We'll see everybody soon.
Yes, we will.
In about 3 weeks. So thanks for hanging out. Happy crafting. We'll see you all soon.
All right. See you guys. What a difference a day makes in the weather.
Oh my gosh.
Last night I got home from the store and I went in the house and I to put something down and I was going to come out and empty the car back into the house. And I turned around and there was
like downpouring.
Crazy rain, like crazy. So I thought, I'm going to wait and do that in the morning. And it was still raining, but not as much.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it rained all most of the night.
I think so too. It's It's been a damp weekend.
Kind of raining this morning, and
the difference being that it was like 65 or 70 yesterday.
Today it's like 40.
Today is. I think the weather forecaster was like, "There's no other way to say this. Sunday is going to be a raw day." And I was like, "Yippee! I'm going to go stand in a barn this afternoon for 4 hours skirting wool.
Wow.
At least I'll be undercover, so there's that."
Have fun.
Yes. Yeah, you would think that would make you warm, and it will actually, but still, it's.
Just trying to pull up the tabs here that I need to have up with the stuff, with the things.
Oh yes,
for today.
Our starting things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else have I? So what have I done for the last? It's been 3 weeks. Yeah. Probably. Oh, because I was gone a weekend, maybe. Yes.
Last week was Easter.
It was Easter. Right.
Yeah.
Right. We couldn't sort ourselves out. Yeah, I was in D.C. for a conference for 3 or 4 days. I don't know when. Like the week after we podcast, I think maybe. Also very rainy there. Very pretty cherry trees, not at their peak, but still very pretty. But it was like really pouring rain the whole time we were there, pretty much. Which made, walking between hotels and places, restaurants and things a little, but it was fine. I think it was sunny when I got there on Wednesday, and then it went downhill from there. Are we not doing this?
No, my phone's trying to generate a hotspot. Okay, great. I'm going to go turn that off.
I hope they get a message up there on their screens that says Meerkat Mobile.
They
it's
don't.
Available.
They don't. It just hangs out where we can see it.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of it. Just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the big thing. And then I don't really know. I have been very busy doing bobolink yarns related things.
I bet.
Plus work itself has been busy. I've been not traveling a lot, but like an overnight here and overnight there over the last couple of weeks. So I feel like I've been gone at least once every week, which is fine. It just eats into your available
time for things.
Yeah, I was hoping that one of my FOs today would be a website. And it's mostly behind the scenes ready. I have a few little domain legal annoying bits to sort out, but
some of that stuff is just
hopefully by the time this posts next week, it'll be resolved one way or another. And I will have a podcast, so let's pretend.
Nice. I mean, website.
A website, right. Oh, golly. Yes, that. So I
think it's going to be one of those days because my brain is not functioning or firing at like the normal the
Yeah.
normal rate today.
Yeah, so be prepared. Well, you'll have already witnessed
What's happening.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, I sent a sneak peek of it around. I'm excited. I think it looks nice, clean, nice website. But
Awesome.
I'll be more excited when it is up and running, and I can cross that off of my big things to do list, and just focused on my normal to do list. And actually, gathering this wool today will be kind of the last bit for a while, and getting it to the mill in a week or two, and then I can focus on the
Relax
next.
for a little bit.
Well, I can start thinking about dye pods.
I was going to say, you can start focusing on other things.
Mm-hmm. The parts that I've been waiting for, the fun parts.
The fun parts.
Not that this isn't fun, but it's
Are you gonna
time-consuming.
get that indigo vat going?
That seems complicated to me, whereas regular dyeing is more straightforward, I think. So I'm gonna sort that out first, and then it's only been sitting on my porch for 5 years now. It was a COVID thing, I think.
Mine's been sitting in my basement. I mean, I did use mine.
Yes, I did not.
And it
Maybe this
needs
summer
to be
I'll get it
refreshed.
up and going. Yeah.
I was threatening to do it last summer.
The hard
just
part is I
never-
need like a full weekend. Like
Yeah.
almost never.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I mean, unless I take time off from job one, which I will and will do for dyeing. Anyway, it's just been spring. It's hectic. Things are going on.
Yes.
And as I've learned, wool gathering first to the mill, then there's a pause, then there's waiting for the yarn to come back. But I have some test yarns that I can use at home to
Practice the yarn
experiment.
mind.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah. So
Good times.
that's my exciting life. I don't think there's been anything else in there that was exciting, but I'm probably forgetting something. I don't know.
Abigail and I went to the South Burlington Illuminate Vermont Festival on Friday night. It was last night, Saturday night, and Friday night. So like they
Didn't hear
closed down
about
a
that.
section of Market Street
Oh,
over there, and they had music and food vendors and
no, that sounds good.
little like artisan craft people
Hmm.
and a bunch of the distilleries and
Yeah.
but they were using like the outdoor space, and then they had people set up inside like in the library. There was music, and they were using the auditorium in the new city hall. They had like a ventriloquist. And
Oh, was it fun? It sounds
it was fun. Yeah, it wasn't super rainy Friday. It was kind of off and on. Last night I think they got downpoured on, but
Yeah.
but
well, between 5 and 6 anyway.
yeah. No, it was good. It seemed like they had a pretty good turnout of people.
Yeah.
Just something else to do. South Burlington seems to have a bunch of stuff like that.
Now that they have space, like a space to do it in, right?
Yeah, they have a pretty
never had, like, a
active
downtown before.
rec department, and so a lot of the stuff runs through their rec department.
Yeah.
They do Sobu Night Out most of the summer, which is Thursdays. They have food trucks and music at the park over there, near Carnes Arena, Veterans Memorial Park on Dorset Street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, their places to be are kind of scattered. So Market Street gives them like a
Central.
little bit more of a heart than they've had before. So
Yeah,
that's good.
for sure. And then otherwise it's just been like kid stuff and kid stuff and kid stuff
Yeah.
and work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
All the pesky things.
yeah,
The fun stuff, but also, I mean, the everyday bits, which are,
just keeps the calendar full.
yeah, and they're all good things. It's just,
It's a lot.
there's never, if there's not a break every now and then, there's,
No, no break this weekend.
And I must admit, I was really, on Monday I went to work and I was, I was pretty cranky, and I realized that all the people who were on vacation this week,
Wow. Yeah,
and
'cause it
my
was
not
April
having had a
break.
vacation in what feels like forever,
Yeah.
and having the weekends be so busy. So whether it's, this new venture or your everyday weekend stuff, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it's unrelenting. So without a break.
Well, I was one of those people who we did not do anything for April break.
Yeah.
So we were here and I was still working, and the
Yeah.
kids were
Yeah.
kind of hanging at home.
Yeah. I
But
didn't have February break either, so I'm
we went away for a couple of days,
Yeah.
so that was...
I'm going to Maine in a couple of weeks, so it's cottage opening, so it's not completely free and clear, but
Right.
it feels like it, and
Right, it's a different...
and it will be like a 3-day weekend, so that'll be really good. It'll be a break.
That'd be nice.
I had hoped that being in DC would be a break as well, but even though it's business stuff, but because I couldn't get out and really walk around too much, even in my free time, that part was a little, but
frustrating.
Yeah, it's fine. It is what it is, but yeah. Although that board service is winding down, so that it's also a little bittersweet. That was my last full board meeting, and so there's one in Arizona in June. Can't wait for that. Scottsdale, Arizona, middle of June, end of June. I think it's going to be a little warm.
It's a dry heat. It won't be as bad as you think it.
Yeah, 120 degrees. Looking forward to it. Yeah. No, it'll be fine.
I'll take that over a 100-degree day here any day.
True. Probably true. We'll see.
We'll find out.
I will report back in June.
Jen will report back.
I'm not a fan of heat, period. So, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be different.
I don't mind it when it is not attached to humidity.
Yeah.
In fact, I quite enjoy it, but not the stuff that we find here.
Yeah.
So
I'm a fan of like 75 to 80, breezy, sunny.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
However, that's not what we're experiencing this weekend, so that's all right. But those days are coming.
Well,
I will
it's supposed
say
to be a little chilly this next week too. So
yeah, but the daffodils are up.
They are.
My yard is. I feel like somehow they multiplied significantly. I have like clumps of them sort of randomly everywhere. But I looked out this yesterday or the day before, and I was like, wow, there's a lot more. Maybe they just grew over the winter. I don't know. They do multiply every now and then, so it's nice. My whole yard feels like it's filled with yellow, and that purple haze flower is blooming right now, so it's lovely, even in the rain. So I'll take all that. So
yes, for sure.
Heading in that direction is always easier than
yes, definitely
heading into winter.
Definitely. Well, we're clearly kind of dragging today.
Oh, so part of that, I guess we should talk about it now rather than later in the earlier part, or
sure.
I don't know. Anyway, yesterday was.
I don't know where this is going, so sure. Okay, local yarns shop day.
You were there. You may or may not remember, but you were there for part of it.
I was there. I wasn't sure which direction this was going.
I know. Well, I forgot about it. So we had a really great day yesterday.
Yes, thanks to everybody that came out and supported the store.
Yes, we had little stickers for everybody. Very exciting. Yeah, it was good. We had a good day, and it was nice to see lots of different people. And I did a little Bobolink yarn pop up, which was nice to share a little bit about what's going on with that, and sell a little bit of yarn. Always a good thing. So yeah, that's good.
Might have sold some yarn to myself.
I definitely sold some yarn to myself. But other people bought some too, so that was good. Yeah, and people seemed excited to be here, so it was good. Yeah,
awesome.
Always a good thing in April to have something to look forward to.
Yes.
And
then there's Worldwide Knit and Public Days coming up in June.
Stitch Every Day in May.
Stitch Every Day in May.
Will have started by the time this airs, I think.
Yep.
So we were talking a little bit yesterday about what to do to encourage people. We didn't come up with anything, so maybe this week you'll see something if we have a brainstorm between now and then. But otherwise, join the fun.
Exactly.
Most of us stitch every day anyways, so
right.
We'll try and look at. I meant to do that last night, and I completely forgot by the time I got home. We'll see what's going on out there. Maybe we can bundle things together for people and give people some resources. But
I mean, think of how far you could make it on the botanical along or the textured torso along if you stitched every day in May, even just a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. On a big project, or even you could complete several small projects.
Small project.
Yeah.
So
we have some inspiration, which we've already talked about. So
yes, exactly.
Yes. The reverse order of this is playing with my brain
No,
today.
I know. We're just kind of all over the place. It's fine.
All right.
Okay.
That's all I have in my head.
Okay. Are we ready to
Sure.
do with the other stuff?
Sure.
Okay, cool.